Hello, my name is Sean Woody, and today I will be acting as a financial planner. So meet my client, George Freeman. He is 46 years old and is married to his wife, Laura, and they have 4 children together. He also owns his own tool and die company, in which he makes a salary of about $225,000 each year. He has come to me to give him financial advice so that he can reach his retirement goals. At this point, we've already had our very first meeting, and the next time we meet, I will be giving him some recommendations on different aspects of his financial situation. So one day, George comes into my office, and we begin discussing the recommendations that I have for him. He wants to start our discussion with discussing his 401k plan. Specifically, he asks me, what do I need to do to maximize my 401k plan? So let me pause the conversation right here so that I can just discuss with you, the audience, about his situation. So George currently has a 401k plan and through his company. And this 401k plan includes a Roth account, which means that his withdrawals will be tax-free. He currently contributes $18,000 in his employee deferral, which means he pulls it out of his salary. And his company is going to provide $34,500 each year in company match and the integrated profit sharing plan that he has included within the plan. And it is currently valued at $50,000, which means he's invested in entirely cash. Why is it invested entirely into cash, you may ask? Well, this is how it all worked. Originally, George had his entire 401k plan invested into a mutual fund, a highly speculative one. But that mutual fund suffered a great loss one year, and in a panic, George ended up reinvesting his mutual fund entirely into cash. This is not ideal because cash does not grow with the market, which means that his account, that his 401k account, also will not grow with the market. Now, here's some other considerations that we have to think about. So I gave George a questionnaire to measure his risk tolerance, and he ended up scoring a 64 out of 100, which means that he tends to be more risk tolerant when it comes to decision making. He also wants to retire by age 62, and he's 46 right now, so he wants to retire in 16 years. And he and his wife plan to retire with an earning of at least 70% of their pre-retirement income. So I gave George my very first recommendation, which is simply to diversify his portfolio. Rather than keep it all in cash, he should reinvest his account into equities and bonds. Equities allow his account to grow in value with the market, but they can be risky if the market experiences a decline. Therefore, he should also consider investing in bonds so that he can have some form of security in case the market does go on a decline. Based on his time frame and his risk tolerance, I recommend that he invests at least 60% in equities and 40% in bonds or cash. He can then reinvest his equities into bonds as he nears his retirement, and if he would like to. I also recommend that he increases his contributions to $19,500 a year because that is the maximum limit for annual contributions in 2021. But then he asks me, what if I'm not sure how to reinvest my funds over time? He kind of gets confused about the equities and the bonds and just the allocation of it all. Well, there's a solution for that too. So I also recommended that he start a target fund. To this, I recommend that he would consider starting a target fund, which automatically changes his the risk levels of his investments from high to low, and as he nears retirement. He can set his target date for 2037, which is in 16 years, which is when he plans to retire. And a portfolio manager can manage his investments based on a traditional allocation method and the risk levels of the portfolio itself and the market. However, George would have less freedom over the account, and fees to start this account can be expensive. Therefore, if he wants to change his asset allocation, he will need to discuss it further with the portfolio manager. That way it can work closer to what he would like for it to be diversified as. And then George thanks me for giving him the recommendations, and we continue our conversation about his financial situation. I would tell you more, but I would be running out of time. Thank you for listening.